share, subscribe, hit that like button for me, and let's get with this live. The judgment of America. The end is here. Now, as we see, there's rumors of wars, and there's about every war that's taking place. Now, some may think that natural disaster are just natural. But we see the judgment that this is the final call. As we hearing, there's wars that's happening amongst nations. Now, the great dreadful days of the Lord has now come to America. We see the land and people who worship evil, robbery, murder, rape, famine, and deceits are the orders of the day in America. Now, if there is anything like a God of righteousness, if there's anything like a God of truth, should not he raise himself up and take his place and put it in to such evil we see as now going on in America? People cannot walk the streets of America today without subjecting themselves to robbery, murder, rape. America's a wicked land, and everyone's against justice and freedom are despised and fought against, regardless to the clear knowledge of God's hourly punishment and destruction of America by a divine plague of storms. But this is as it is written of America in the book of Revelations. In the Bible, we see they continue their evil ways and did blasphemy to God, who has power over the pledge. The God has come to take over. Now, we see America has been divinely curtained with his divine pledge of storms. But this is as it is written, we see of America in the book of Revelation. In the Bible, we see they will continue their evil ways and blaspheme the name of God who has the power over the pledge. See, they hated the name of Allah, the great Mahdi. See, they hate the name of his messengers, but nevertheless, that does not stop the judgment and destruction we see that's happening today in America. Look, we see at the wicked devil in Alabama. They are against us while we are trying to be at peace with them. But see, there's no peace in them. We had done nothing wrong to them. They are against us just because the idea that we are Muslims and black people. So the white man has his way of ruling the black people for so long that he would think that he still has the power to do so, while in reality, the white men have come to an end of his time of power to rule the black people. Regardless, to allow God retaliation to the white man for his evil act done to the black man. The white man still keeps inviting retaliation of God. So the white man must remember that he cannot win today over Allah God and his servants. For he has power. See, the judgment of America. See, judgment have come to you, America, whom to you who seeks to fight against Allah, God, and against his aim and purpose. Whom to you, America, see, Allah, God, has made you blind to his judgment, and therefore you are committing suicide today. He has made you blind on purpose to give you the full dose of his wrath. When a man does not know the danger of the fire, then he can fall headlong into it. America has mistreated the black man for over 400 years, and she does not think that there is ever a God who will set her black slave, return on her head the injustice done to the black slave. This is the day and time in which America can benefit from what Allah God has revealed to me, and from the work that I'm doing amongst my black people, turning them and doing evil into righteousness, as it is written in the Bible. See, Babylon could have been healed, and there was a possible chance for healing if she had not gone to extreme, making fun of the God of the Jews in their temple in Jerusalem, and belittling the powers of the God of the Jews to retaliate. The Bible prophesies, we see, these pledges that will come upon America. And these pledges are falling on America right now. And yet she will not yet repent. For God has given her time. For America will continue to kill and deceive the black one slave for righteousness and justice. Even though the black slave wants to go for America, she wants to hold on to him, and America does not want to let her black slave go. So America holds the black one slave for a prey, whom to America her days have arrived. She will not heed the warning. I beg her to let us be separated from her on a little territory and a state to ourselves. To let us be responsible for our own survival, only to get out from under her injustice. But she refused. So we see it was with Pharaoh in the time of Moses. See, God went down to Egypt to make Israel, her enemies, the Egyptians, an example for a future people, so that this may serve as a sign for what we see going on in America today. The four great judgments that Allah God promised to destroy America, which are now coming upon her: hail, we see, snow, drought, earthquakes. Allah God has reserved his treasure of snow and ice to be used against the wicked country we see of America in the days of battle and war. These are some of Allah God's weapons the storms that we see going on. To the white man of America is not blind and ignorant. He has known these prophecies of his doom for a long time before we knew it. But the white man translated the Bible and he knows what he puts in his translation of that. What was written in the Bible. The judgment of America, all love and respect of the wicked has gone from them. They do not love each other nor respect each other. They have pulled off their clothes and disgraced themselves. This is also a pledge. We see some of the white people rehearsing the cage days of their fathers, and they are not ashamed to do so. They'll even come out with long, straggly hair, as their fathers did in the days of their cage. This is Allah God forcing the white man to bear him witness that they really wants the caveman. Yet, a few foolish, unlearned black people follow the white man. It is shame to pull off their clothes and grow hair down their backs and over their face by misleading the black man to following the way of the white man cave days. So the white man began telling the world how he has deceived it, the black man. It's now making the black man manifest that he is too weak to seek after his own. For nearly 40 years, I have been preaching to the black man in America that we should accept our own. Instead of this black man going to the decent side of his own, he goes back seeking transitional Africa and the way they did in the jungle life, the way you see in some uncivilized parts of Africa today. See, they are not using barber tools, sneakers, razors to keep themselves looking dignified as a civilized people should look. The black man in America accept the jungle life, thinking that they would get the love of black Africa. Black brothers and black sisters wearing savage dress and hairstyles will not get you the love of Africa. The dignified people of Africa are neither Muslims or educated Christians. But Africa today does not want Christianity. Do not think that you would get at home in Africa after this war if you are a Christian. To get a home in Africa after this war, you have to be a Muslim. The judgment of America, she is made manifest. As it is written, we see in the Bible, Revelation. She is a cage of every unclean and hateful bird, every unclean and hateful human being. America, America, your days have come for the evil done to your black slave. America, you cannot repay that evil for another evil, trying to tempt this black slave by offering them your white women's. See, that does not help you in this day, but it does condemn you as being a double crosser, that you would even offer your black one slave, your girls and women, to do with them as they please, if they would just follow you. The judgment of America, see, Babylon could have been healed, but she was not healed. We see America just beginning to experience sorrows, mourning, and grief, and distrust for the anger of God and man. According to both the Holy Quran and the Bible, there will be plenty more of the same. And these two books can easily find everything foretold that is happening today. The time will go so terrible, son, that according to the Holy Quran, we see children will become gray-haired. And according to the Bible, great heart failures will become a disease upon the people who have angered God, the American people. Now, Jesus prophesies in the Luke 21st chapter, 25 and 26. You see, earthquakes will happen in dire places. The seas and ocean will rise into a perplexity that man had never witnessed before. Now I want to say this is another pledge that's on the wicked. The Pacific Ocean are angry and tossing up tidal waves. Now, you may say, why should these things happen? So I say, why should these things hit America? Because you see, America is filled with devils and have such unclean person living. So when we talk about the fourth beast in the Revelation chapter of John in the Bible, and which Daniel described as a very dreadful, well-armed beast who working our death upon the weak, refers to America. She had no respect for the poor, the unfortunate. See, Daniel described of the rib between the teeth of the beast is the reference to this ill treatment you see that is happening today. Subjection and ruthless behaviors we see by the devil to our people. This America Latins the poor with heavy sentences, long prison terms, refuses to let the prisoners go free. This is due to our heartlessness and lack of compassion for the black man of America. This beast, white man, lies and waits around the black man homes and prowls the streets at night and wait for an excuse to wreak his ruthlessness on his poor prey, the black man. If the black man raised a hand to protect and defend himself, he's shot dead, unable to defend himself against false charges. This beast keeps our people in sorrows and unhappiness by depriving them of equal opportunity. The black man rages are calculated by white wicked accountants, preventing the so-called Negro from saving by skyrocketing and a view of the poor, the prices of the necessary of life. This white beast persecute, imprison, and kill those who preach freedom and justice for the poor, so-called Negro. The white man does not want the so-called Negro to leave America, but she will not divide the spoil of America, the country which she hath taken by force of arm and killing its owners, the Indians with them. You see, this beast was set up evil to be idolized as a god. She discussed good for evil, and she covered the earth with filth, making it fascinate, so that man will bow down and worship evil for good. She set brothers against brothers for her own joy, and then she kills both of them. Whom to America, the murderers and deceivers of the people. The God of justice and truth has pronounced it a judgment against you, and by no means will you escape. He had made mockery of him, God and his people, his words, the truth. You have been judged and found and won to the so-called American Negro, the lost and now found members of the black nation of the earth. Come unite with Allah and me. Go to your own. You won't have to go anywhere if you only will unite with your own. Heaven awaits you wherever you may be. You see, America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. Now, Surah 13:41 talks about we have visited land and curtained it from its sides. You know, America is being curtained with the judgment, there are strange anomalies. Rather, whenever you get an Arctic glass seat, and this, season of January is our Arctic blast season. More heavy snow, and it's going to be severe weather. Whenever you get a cold front meeting with a warm front, produce cells, vorticity, precipitation. These storms get all its nutrition, all its ingredients to fuel up these storms. So when I say America is surrounded with this judgment of Allah, we see when it comes to the four great judgment that Almighty Allah God is bringing upon America are rain and hail, snow, and earthquakes. We see them now covering all sides of America as the Holy Quran prophesies curtain her on all her sides. And this judgment will push the people to the center of the country. And they'll realize that it's Allah God who is bringing them and a country to a nothing. Job in the Bible prophesies that Allah God has the snow and ice to use as his weapons. In the days we see a war and battle against this wicked. We hear and read in the newspapers today of how great hail like little mountains of snow are pushing down from the north. Not only in the northern states of Minnesota, North and South Dakota, and Montana, but now we see the snow is now in the New England states, and they are declared to be very disaster areas. The announcer of disaster snow in the New England states says that there has never been such great quantity of snow all up and down the coast of the Carolina. The rain takes up where the snow leaves off. We see all around the southern borders of America, storms are raging. There are tornadoes and heavy rain, and more storms are on the way, one right after another. In the north we see, in far west, and in the east, America surrounded with the judgment of Allah, God. There are earthquakes, and the seas is raging. The Pacific Ocean now angry and is raging and tossing up great waves as never before. Now, why should these things hit America? We see the Revelation teach you why. It is because we see America is filled with devils and has such unclean person living in America. That is true on the hateful birds. See, every filthy, shameless, wicked person will come here for a haven where he can do any wickedness he wants to do. And the country is open and welcomes that type of person. As we see the few little Muslims, who name Muslim means those who have submitted to the will of Allah, God, how the enemy hates us and seeks to do all the evil he possibly can against us by falsehood. These are not the days of Noah we see, Lot and Abraham, nor are these the days of Moses. These are new times. See, the enemy does not get away in punishing the righteous just because he hates them. Allah, the God of righteousness, is with us. He just laughs at those who try to fight against him. He had destroyed a whole nation with less than the power of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. The Holy Quran has a record of people even being destroyed. See, Allah God does not have to have something great. He does not have to go to work and get a block of iron or a mountain and throw it on them. He used that which is with you against you. The force of nature are great weapons as we see them in play upon America. We see the storm after storms Snow and ice are whirling in from the north and are pushing great drifts that are just covering up everything. What can you do with a guy like that? You see, Job prophesies that our God has his weapons stored up to use in the days of battle and war with the wicked. It just takes some snow and cover them up. The Holy Quran says that our God destroyed people with just cold winds. He froze them. Do you think that you can get away with fighting Allah, God? See, no wonder we see the second psalm says that he will sit in the heaven and laugh at those who are trying to fight against him. He'll have you crazy. It is true. The heads of the governments of the Christian world are confused, and they do not know that they are confused. Why? Because the greatest desire was to confuse us. Now Allah God has taken the confusion out of us and put it into them. Eat, America, help yourself to the desert that you have prepared it for us. You eat it. All praises are due to Allah God. Came in the person of Master Falah Muhammad. See, we went to Alabama, any states that we go to, we pay high price per acre of land that our father labor had already brought for us. Now he wants to kill us if we act humble and peaceful and want to buy back some of our own labors. I laugh at some of these things that are here coming out of Alabama. And not only in Alabama, but in every other states in the Union. They do not know the time in which they are living. Allah God is well able to take the country from you and give it to whom he pleases. It is in your Bible. Read it for yourself. He took the kingdom from the wicked and gave it to whom he pleases, those who will bring people into righteousness. America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. The four great judgments are rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, and the confusion in the head of states. To be pledged with too much rain will destroy properties and lives. It swells the rivers and creeks. Too much rain floods cities and towns. Large bodies of water at the ocean shore line will be made to swell with unusual highways, dumping billions of tons of water over the now seashore lines. Rain destroy properties and kill cattle by drowning them in lowlands. Rain destroy the hiding places of vigorous beasts and reptiles, bringing them out, fighting in small towns and people homes and farms. Rain weakens and destroy railroads, truck lines, bed, and bridges. Rain undermine foundation of all types of buildings. Rain make the atmosphere too heavy with moisture, causing sickness. Rain can bring destruction to towns and cities, bringing germs, causing sickness to the people. Produce unclean water by the swelling of the stream, destroying of the pure drinking water, used for the health of the people. Rain is a destructive army with itself. Hailstorms are also a property and life destroyer. Snow is of the most dreaded plague when it comes in great drifts from 5 to 35 feet. It buries your property and life. Hey, just look at Dubai. Y'all may think you can run and hide in Dubai. You can buy you a pig foot. Go to some hotel. So I want to say this. If God wanted to get a hold of you, he can. See, too much snow can bury your property and your lives. It destroys your highways and your cities and your gravel towns and cities. It put a great burden of expense upon the cities. It put a great burden of expense upon the cities to repair it. The cage in of roofs of homes, the cutting off of homes, the cutting off of transportations, isolation areas bring about the starvation, and communication is destroyed with the icing of the communication wires. See, we know snow looks pretty because of its clean look. Almost everything in nature is beautiful, but it can be turned into death and destruction against man. Snow is prophesied to be one of the weapons that God will use against this wicked of America in Joel 38, 22, and 23. Now, when it comes to the judgment, they may look at it as is natural, just really natural disaster. Big deal. But we as believers, we see it as God's final judgment. Now, in Job 38, 22, talks about have you enter into the treasure of the snow. You know, hell also is mentioned in the same two verses, where God plainly tells us that he had preserved it against the time of trouble, against the days of battle and war. The Holy Quran also teaches us that God used snow, rain, hail, earthquakes, and fire against former wicked people. Now, is America any better than the people read about in the history that God destroys? No, she is not as good. These people was not as wicked as American people. Earthquakes can destroy towns and cities instantly. America is in the grip of divine judgment. America is in a position towards a one slave, so-called nickel, as Pharaoh was with Israel as his slave. She is in this position today because of the injustice done to the American so-called Negro slave brought to America over 400 years ago, refused to let them go free. They only say that you are free, knowing within that you are not able to leave them without anything. But the injustice continue to increase. Now they plan death. So this God was predicted by the prophet to come to the defense of these people, so-called Negro, in the last days after they served the enemy for 400 years. The Bible declared to Abraham in Genesis that God will judge the people to whom his people Abraham will be in bondage. This does not mean Israel. This means the present black people, the members of the black nation, who have and are fulfilling the prophecy. God and a person, a Master Fard Muhammad, will not be defeated. The more evil we see, deceiving and tricking and making these false promises to the American so-called Negro only will increase America divine chastisement, doom. See, America knows that her trouble lies in her mistreatment of the black man, the so-called Negro. But she is too wicked today to give up tricking the Negro and deceiving him on false promises. She just cannot stop. The opportunity is too open, and she thinks that there is no one to hinder her. But God has chosen us to be his people, and he delights in fighting the enemy. According to the history of the former people, he delights himself by going forth against them when they extended the limit. So it is with America. They must be separate. America will not agree to see the Negro separate from her until she has suffered divine punishment as Pharaoh suffered it. The same things the other evil nation suffered before them is now coming upon this people. She seeks to keep the slave robbed of opportunity and wealth. She envies success coming to the American Negro free slave. She charged them high prices to keep them down, to deceive them through a few of what we call Uncle Toms and the political circle class and all professional classes. She offered them little favoritism to help her work against their own people, the black people. But they too will suffer along with enemy of justice of the poor so-called Negro. They must be separate. Envy and hatred are going between the two people, regardless of their preaching of social integration. The truth must come. What is better than a program you find I have written? You two blacks and whites cannot get along in peace, since you have never gotten along in peace. Do you know why? Why America does not like to talk with you about the separation, and why he calls separation of the two people the wrong solution for peace between the people? He knows that it's promised there, and the God will do it. Then why do they not agree with separating themselves from you and me and we from them? Why are the black man and white man all over the earth now in disagreement with each other to live in peace? Do you know why? Oh, foolish American so-called nigga, seek some of this earth that you can call your own, to live on in peace. Unite and ask the government for a portion of America. See, this is what we need. See, somewhere to live to ourselves, and let the white man live to himself. The two people are not brothers. See, they are aliens to each other. See, God did not make them brothers to each other. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, to learn this and learn it quickly. Fly for your life to the refuge of Allah and come follow me. We see America's lands being divinely curtained. The Holy Quran, Surah 13:41. See they not that we are visiting a land, curtain it of his size, and Allah pronounced a doom. There is no repeller of his decree, and he is swift in calling everything to account. Black man America, there is no one as blind as you are seeing what is going on against America. I have warned you for nearly 40 years that Allah, God, and the person of Master Muhammad, whom praise or do favor, came to me and gave me the knowledge of the truth, and I have been preaching it to you continually. Now you see what is going on. As America has done, so now is being done into her. America has surrounded the country of the people. She had blown their cities to pieces. She had killed inhabitants. Those who was left alive, she put to flight, running from shelter from destruction by America might. It is very sad we see and horrible to look at the things that America have done, which are now coming on this country. For many years we see, centuries of years, America have lived a luxurious, wicked life while hating her black slave and deceiving them of justice, shooting them down on the streets and on the highways and in the woods and fields for nothing. She did it just because she felt that she has the advantage that she wants to kill black people as she was made to do. The Bible, Psalms chapter 10, verse 8. He sat in the lurking places of the village in the secret place. Do he murder innocents? His eyes are set against the poor. You see, precious is the sight of the Lord, the death of his saints. See, up into this very minute, She's seeking to destroy this black man in America and to deprive him of freedom to do for self. America never desired a departure of the black slave from his white slave master. America was only to hold this black slave in order to continue to treat him with evil. See, Pharaoh's hatred and injustice to Israel and Egypt from the time of Moses to serve America as a warning, but she had fallen headlong to the destruction of Allah God. See, America runs to and fro and seeking way out, but she does not try to justify her black slave for justice and equality amongst the nations of the earth. America made us into nothing, and she used us to mock us before the nation of the earth. But a God with unlimited wisdom, knowledge, and power is now befriending the black slave, and he has chosen the black slave to be his people. But the foolish black people have yet to come into that knowledge that Allah God is their best friend, and that he is here to save them from destruction of a people who have shown evil and hatred to us all our life. America divided us one against the other. So the black man in America is so divided against each other that you seek all the time to do evil against each other. You cannot even befriend them unless they take advantage of it. They call you a fool or trying to befriend them, as it was with us by Midway Technical Schools. Midway Technical Schools came to us for help, and we gave them that help to keep them from falling. Cost us $30,000 to set them free of their back rents and other bills that they had. Take a look at how they turn on us for the purpose of wrecking all of their beautiful business set up for them and others to enjoy on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. The fall of America foretold we see separation is the answer. And when the cities are set on fire and when men are united, see, the folding up is the title of this chapter from the first 4 verses in which the above verses are found. And when the sun are folded up, see, the sun eventually going to fold up to a high, corona. See, we're already in the highest corona mass ejection. Meaning earthquakes is here. And with the worst yet to come. And see, this is not a surprise. And it should never be a surprise that they've been just lying to you. So this chapter, I want to say, is referred to what will take place in the resurrection. See, one part is recorded as the beginning, while the other part is discontinued. We see this clearly being made manifest today. See, war caused destruction of civilizations. See, war destroys cities and towns of a nation. See, this chapter 81 of the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. The sun and the stars, mountains, camels, and wild animals are all mentioned in the first 4 verses of this chapter, and not without. The coming of Allah refers to by the prophet is to unite a people who have been divided against self by their enemies. He chose these people for building a better world. The Bible revelation refers to destruction of the beast and its chief instructor, the dragon. The name beast given here is not referred to 4-foot animals, but to a people who rule as like that of a savage beast. And theologically, then most of them from the time of Martin Luther, who I think was the author of these terms, beast, dragon, especially the late Pastor Russell and Judge Radford, founders of Jehovah's Witness sect, take the term dragon to refer to the Pope of Rome, the fathers of the Christian church and the Christian religion. This is the first time since we have been here And this had been the first time since we had been lost in this part of the earth that we want to unite the black nation of the earth into one under the guidance of God who is now present.